Yo, people, what's happening? Population Nation here. Just watched the Mandalorian season 3, episode 5, and I quite enjoyed it. I actually, there's been a lot of people that are like, there's this thing because Picard season 3 is going on at the moment, and they're comparing it, and they're like, well, Picard season 3 is still better than Mandalorian season 3, and I'm just taking it for what it is. I went from being a massive Star Wars fan to, well, hating what Disney have done to it. But Mandalorian, season 1, I thought it was a bit of an odd choice. Why the Mandalorian? Unless you've read the books and you're a diehard fan, it just seemed a bit of an odd choice to bring out. But a lot of people liked it. Baby Yoda, to be honest, I've not liked him in it. I heard it was Kathleen Kennedy's idea, and I suppose the plan was, massive merchandise. But they forgot to add the one ingredient that was most necessary. Now, the original trilogy, kids, teenagers, and adults all loved it. Right? George Lucas famously said, I made it for kids. It's not my fault, adults loved it. So them adults that loved it now are quite old. And the kids that loved it, that was one of me. I was born in the late 70s, and I first got introduced to Star Wars in the sort of early to mid 80s, yeah? And now I'm a grown man. The prequels, they were alright. The CGI was dodgy. In some places, the CGI I actually think was pretty good. Like General Grievous, when you look into his eyes and that, I thought brilliant. Well, some of it was very shoddy. The dialogue was very cringy, but still, it was a good. How can you put it? As far as prequels go, yeah, we all wanted to know what happened before. We all wanted new Star Wars. Any long time fan, any big fan knew that George Lucas is actually meant it as like a 9-parter or something like that. So A New Hope was number 4. We already knew that there was stuff before, and they were all right. They've improved for time. The CGI definitely has gone down and downhill in time, and the dialogue is still cringy, but they're still fun to watch. The Disney trilogy though is just, George Abrams started it off, and I said in another video, like I saw one sentence or one paragraph of something that was put out that was, well, number 7, yeah, it's going to be like a new hope for the new audience sort of thing. Introduce new characters, and then we're going to get into like the new continuation of story after that. And I read that, and I hate reboots, and that put me off straight away. Force Awakens is going to be like a rehash a Jar Jar Abrams rehash of A New Hope is going to be totally crap. Yeah, I watched it once, beginning to end, and I shall never watch it again. And then you had Ruben Johnson come along. The Last Jedi. What the fuck was that about? I do not know. And then, what you call it? The resurrection of Palpatine. How can you call it? The rise of Skywalker. When you had the Skywalkers there and you killed them all off in stupid ways. And what's it? And you had Rey the Master Starver. Mary Sue away to flipping. I don't know what she did at the end. You know, who are you, Ray? Ray Skywalker, and then she rides off into the desert, like Lawrence of Arabia. Well, you know, they haven't brought out a movie since or out of her after Ray, the new champion for the new, well, was it Rebel Alliance? Was it the communists? Was it I don't know, bring back the old new republic? I don't know. What? Yeah, just it, so Mandalorian anyway. Yeah, strange choice, but I thought a good choice. If you know anything about Mandalore, the animated series. Um, yeah, Mandalorian. A lot of people like Boba Fett. Even they didn't know much about him, but Disney decided to kill an interest in that character, didn't they? But yeah, Mandalorian. Simple, easy. They're not that long, so it's an easy watch. It's something that I think Disney have just garnered too much ill will towards fans. Like I say, they missed out the ingredient that most proper Star Wars fans are older people now. And I keep seeing this stuff on YouTube, um, comparing it to Picard season 3, and I must admit, Picard season 3, I'm quite enjoying it actually, quite enjoying it. The member berries and the Easter eggs are annoying me a bit, but other than that, yeah, compared to what come before, and I did say I think Star Trek is one of the franchises that can be saved. There's a lot of, well, it spans a long time, and they can correct it and get some goodwill back there, and hopefully make it interesting and good enough for new and younger people to get into it. Now, The Mandalorian can do the same. I don't like the idea of Baby Yoda. He's trying to sell it to kids or for a younger, new audience to buy toys for the kids. I actually asked my daughter's, it's not a real mother, but she thinks it's a real mother, who my daughter lives with, about Baby Yoda, and she was like, no, never heard of it, like, so she didn't want a Baby Yoda toy, even if thought it might be quite cute, get one, she might just like it for what it is, like, but didn't get her one in the end, like, and I've come across a lot of people the same way, actually, that aren't sort of, these young mothers don't really know about Star Wars, which means the partners or the fathers of the children aren't really into Star Wars. Like I say, they've missed out that ingredient where most proper Star Wars fans are older now. I mean, I was a kid, you know, when I saw the first Star Wars, uh, I was a grown man by the time I saw the prequels. When the Disney trilogy come out, it was made for kids, and it was just it made for TikTok audience, really. Obviously, it made a lot of money at the box office because Star Wars brings in a lot of things, a lot of advertising, a lot of and hype around it. Like, but yeah, I think they've garnered so much bad will and that lot. Like, Andor, I can't believe it. The first 3 episodes of Andor were pretty bad and boring, like, but then it ended up being a good show. If they could have edited it a bit better and the first 3 episodes, sort of squashed them down into one, you know what I mean? Just got them done quicker, and I think it would have got more people watching it. But yeah, the Mandalorian, he's the best Star Wars live action we've had in years. He's better than them Disney films by a long way. And they're not perfect. But the sort of, mixing some of the old with some of the new, I think they're just about getting it right with what they got to work with. They've got to work really hard to bring it back with the box with Kenobi, and so I'm sort of happy that we're not seeing legacy characters getting humiliated, destroyed, buffoons. It's not overcomplicated. It's not over fancy. You could say it's a little bit daft in parts and that, but it's an easy watch. It's an easy watch. It's not too long. It's not too complicated. It's sort of making sense, and as I keep saying, when I'm looking forward to the next episode, that's a good sign. And again, I'm looking forward to the next episode. I knew Moff Gideon escaped. I already knew before the season come out that he was coming back into it. So we've just learnt at the end of this that the ship transporting him to his trial was well, he's been liberated, and it seems to me that there's people working in this new republic that are still loyal to the Empire. The big one is Throne coming into it. I first come across Throne when he first come into the books and expanded universe that Disney says isn't canon anymore. Anything that come along, but they're bringing him back. Like, they got to bring many other things back because what they've brought in is bullshit. And well, if you've got £6 spare and you love Star Wars, well, go take a visit to the Star Cruise Hotel. Yeah, and then rewatch the Disney sequel. If not, The Mandalorian. Like I say, it's an easy show, it's simple, it's strange how they went with The Mandalorian, but it's it started a conversation about it. And comparing it to Picard, I think it's a bit odd. I want both shows to do well, and I think so far both shows are doing well. Anyway, I'm not going to go into the plot or anything like that. It was very simple. Basically, the pirates had come back to Naboo because, a few of them got killed, didn't they? And the big bad has come to take his revenge. And the Mandalorians have decided to go and help him out. And get the pirates' arse, and they've been granted some land, so they don't have to hide no longer. Boom, Bo-Katan. Here in the armour, I've had a conversation. Just let her remove her helmet and said, "Now is the time to unite our people." And also, it's been mentioned, obviously, with Moff Gideon being not facing trial, he's escaped. He's probably still after the Darksaber, and there's bigger forces at play. I'm not sure if it has been confirmed about Throne, but it is pretty obvious. If he doesn't come into it this season, then it's obviously next season. So to me, it does a bit like watching the animated series of the Clone Wars. It actually gave us more story and more characters. I know we're actually retreading old characters, but it is expanding, and they're doing it in a good way by actually building characters. So I'll just leave it there. I'll just say make my day, subscribe, give us a thumbs up, share, ring that bell, ding dong, and have a good day. May the force be with you. Thank you very much. Goodbye.